Hello, friends, and welcome to the Friendors podcast, a podcast by wedding vendors for wedding vendors. I'm your host, Shawn Miller, owner and founder of Young, Hip, and Married and Professional Wedding Officiant. Each week, I interview my friends from the wedding industry, and we talk about life as a wedding vendor, how they got started, challenges they faced along the way. If you're a vendor, you know we got to throw in a few chaotic stories. Thanks so much for being here, and let's dive into the episode. Welcome, Lauren.
Thank you.
This is so exciting. Today, I get to have you on the show. Lauren, Officiant with my company, Young, Hip, and Married. So excited to have you here.
Thank you.
And I didn't remember, but you started in 2019.
2019, pre-pandemic.
Pre-pandemic, and your first event was when we did Love in the Square.
Love in the Square. What a blessing.
That was a wild event. That last one especially was crazy.
It was such a blessing. It was such a rush.
We did, I think, over almost 150 weddings that day.
Oh my goodness, I'm not surprised.
So we did, for Love in the Square, for people that don't know, it was a free event in Vancouver, partnered with Pop-Up Weddings BC and a bunch of other amazing vendors, florists, and decor. And we gave free weddings away on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, we did.
And you said, how many weddings did you do that day?
I did 23 that day.
20.
It was amazing. So many beautiful couples.
In a day.
You come up, you bond with them.
Yeah.
You do their wedding, you cheer on with their family and friends. It was just amazing. And then another couple comes and you do it for them.
And you do it again.
Yeah, it was so beautiful.
And you do it again. Yeah, it was quite the event. Do you remember how you felt when that day was over?
Oh, it's the best feeling of exhausted,
right,
and also a rush. The adrenaline is pumping.
Right.
Your heart is full.
Yeah.
Because you know you've made a difference and you've done something for the food bank,
yeah,
and for Vancouver and for all these beautiful couples whose lives you got to be part of,
yeah,
for this sacred moment.
Right.
And yeah, it's just a mix of you're exhausted and you are so full of love and gratitude.
Yeah. It was, what I realized with that event was how many people want to be married, but they don't want to have a wedding.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of people out there
Yes.
who want to be married, want to make a lifelong commitment to their partner, but the thought of having a wedding,
That's right.
is just like, no, thank you.
That's right.
And you can't go to the courthouse anymore and get married.
Really?
No,
Wow.
not
Wow.
not in Vancouver at least. You can get married at City Hall.
Yeah.
But you have to book it and
Right.
all this sort of stuff. You can't just you see in the movies sometimes hey, just go to the courthouse and get married.
Yeah.
Can't happen in Vancouver. And so the lowest barrier to entry when we just opened the door and said, you can get married for free.
Yes.
Come out.
How perfect.
And we had, I think it was like 140. I don't quote me on that. I don't remember the exact number, but it was a lot.
What a gift.
It was a gift.
What a gift.
It was a gift.
To be able to show up and be love and present for all those people, and to give back of your gift to the world.
Yeah, and no matter where you come from, no matter what you believe, we're going to marry you.
Come on.
Who you are.
Come on.
It's the best.
That's good stuff. It is the best.
It's the best.
It is the best. We're very blessed.
It's the best. So had you officiated at all before you started with us?
I had, actually. Yeah. I've been officiating for 15 years.
Do you remember your first wedding?
Yeah. I'm not sure I do.
I remember my first.
Do you? Mm-hmm. Tell me, please. Say more.
It was at the Langley Casino. I had just gotten licensed. It was 2012. And it was like a last minute couple.
Wow.
Threw together a script. Super nervous. But I'd been running Young and Married for almost 2 years at that point. So I was pretty familiar with the space. And then I remember thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, I had the script, but I was like, this work is so much more about what we say.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that's what's misconstrued.
Yeah.
In officiating is like, anyone could just read a script, which is true.
Yeah.
Anyone can read something off a piece of paper.
Right.
What you say is important, but I also think like what we say, how we say it.
Yes.
And the energy behind our words.
That's it. It's how we show up.
It's how we show up.
That makes the difference. Yeah. I think I do remember my first wedding, or at least one of my first.
Yeah.
It was a gay couple, and it was at this beautiful venue in Langley, I think, that had this greenhouse beside the house.
Yeah.
and the house was the staging and changing area, and it was beautiful. And then there was a river behind the house.
Oh, beautiful.
And this beautiful greenhouse with rows of chairs and lots of plants around, and it was just beautiful.
It was stunning. How did they find you? Do you remember how they found you?
I think just through the gay community, through the network.
Right.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah. And so you started with us. So how did you find us, first and foremost?
I found you through Beth Carlson Milena.
Yeah, Beth, amazing officiant in Vancouver.
Amazing officiant in Vancouver. Yeah. I was envious of her Instagram.
Oh, because you saw her online.
I saw all her posts from Young, Hip, and Married on Instagram.
Yeah.
And we also knew each other through queer faith circles.
Right.
So I already had that connection and respect for Beth already.
Right.
And then when I saw her Instagram, I asked her one day, where are you getting all these spectacular weddings?
Yeah.
These couples and these locations, it just looks so fun.
Yeah.
And she said she was working for Young, Hip, and Married at the time. And
that's how we started.
She said, would you like a referral? And I said, yes, please.
And the rest is history.
Here we are.
6 years later.
6 years later.
Wow.
It's been so fun.
It's been,
so fun.
Beth was amazing at teaching me about really the queer community.
100%.
Right? Like when I grew up very fundamentalist Christian, and, getting divorced and like being gay were like the two like most cardinal things you could do.
I understand.
And, when we got into doing weddings, we just decided right away, we're like, we're going to marry everybody. And at the time, and even unfortunately, even today, sometimes we get referrals from couples that, a certain individual won't marry them because they're part of the queer community, right? And Beth taught me a lot about, inclusive language and, just eliminating, assumptions with gender pronouns at weddings and assuming everyone's a bride or a groom and saying ladies and gentlemen and all that. Like she was instrumental in having me rethink about the way that I perform weddings because they can be so heteronormative.
Of course.
Right?
Yes.
How have you found that, as being a queer wedding vendor, navigating that space?
Yeah. I love that shortly after I started, all our forms were updated to say person 1 and person 2.
Yeah.
And to ask for pronouns as well. So beautiful. Yeah. It's really about being inclusive of everybody who's present in that space and making them all feel seen and valued. Yeah. The couple first and foremost,
absolutely.
The closest family and friends, of course, but anybody who's there, just making sure they feel whole and welcomed and encompassed in this love and in this ceremony. So it's really about using inclusive, gender-neutral language. Yeah. Hello, folks. Welcome, everybody. Family and friends and chosen family and family by blood and lineage. Yeah. Welcome, everybody to the space and know that you're safe and you belong here. And we're just so thrilled that you are a place of love and welcome to this couple, whoever they may be.
Yeah, it's I think a really important role, especially as officiants. Like we have this saying, "Young and Married," which I've said many times, but we want your wedding to feel better than it looks. In an industry that is highly aesthetically focused, right? A lot of it has to do with how things look, but what we get the job of doing is curating a feeling. Right? We get this opportunity to create a space for people to be celebrated and to be seen, and not just the couples, right? We get to put their love story on display. But I think no matter who we are, no matter where we come from, no matter what we believe, we can all agree like love is worth celebrating.
Yes, right? 100%, 100%.
Yeah. So what drew you into wanting to do weddings? What was the draw for you?
Got you. I love people.
Yeah.
Hearing the stories.
Yeah.
Making a difference and a connection with people. It really feeds my spirit and my soul and is part of my purpose in the world to have moments with people and to make them feel seen and heard and valued and to offer whatever gifts and receive whatever gifts from people.
Yeah.
And I love that flow with people. And as part of my call to ministry.
Right.
Weddings are just such a joy.
Yeah. So what is, so talk about a little bit what you do outside of weddings.
Outside of weddings, I'm actually a minister in the United Church.
Okay.
And I finished my MDiv late in life, my Master's of Divinity, to be a minister. And I'm just finishing a 2-year on-the-job sort of apprenticeship, fellowship time, where I've had a church that I oversee and love and care for 2 years, with a lot of support around me for the first 2 years, so that you're encouraged and held, and you take good care of your people, and your people take good care of you. And it's all accompanied for the first 2 years, watching you transform and grow more and more.
And you're coming to the end of that 2 years?
I am at the end of the 2 years.
So what's next?
Next is ordination, actually, June 1st. Wow. It's very exciting, very exciting. And then I've renewed a contract with the current community that I currently love and serve in Richmond.
Amazing.
And I'm going to be with them for the next 3 years.
Fantastic.
Just doing life together with God, with the Spirit, with whatever comes through all the moments of life. Amazing. The joys, the troubles, the easy parts, the day-to-day.
Amazing.
Just accompanying.
So good.
Such a gift.
Right?
I can't believe I waited so long in life to do it.
You know, it's, as we were talking about before the camera started rolling, like it's all meant to be. You know, like oftentimes, this has been a common theme actually. You know, Jeff, who had on earlier, you know, he was talking about what took me so long, right? He's becoming an educator and this sort of stuff. And it just takes as long as it takes.
Isn't it funny? Exactly.
Right? Like, yeah, you got to plant the seeds and you got to water them and take care of them.
That's it.
Do all of that.
What I found, though, is such a gift of it, really looking back, is that none of the experiences that got me to this point have been wasted. And so I'm bringing, I'm going to cry. I do, I would.
It's all good.
So I'm bringing a lot more life experience to the role, which makes me an even more full minister than I would have been when I first got the call years ago. So I've spent years in entertainment and on cruise ships. I've been in banking. I've been in healthcare as a medical secretary, and all of that comes into practice in the ministry. Not one piece of it is wasted. So the medical secretary, I appreciate the ills and the aches and the pains that the community are going through, particularly as they age. I'm familiar with the healthcare system as they're navigating appointments. I speak medical terminology, and I've been a secretary, so I have the admin skills as well to bring to the role. I was in banking for 10 years. So I have some understanding of finance and banking. Oh my word. I don't know what I was doing there, but I fell into it. I was a teller and a senior teller. I was
Did you know that I was in banking?
Were you really?
I worked for HSBC.
Oh my word. I was with
as a teller.
Oh my gosh. I was with RBC.
Yeah, I was a teller, and then I went into premier banking, doing like mutual funds and all that sort of stuff. And then I didn't last very long.
Yeah.
Short-lived.
I actually made it 10 years.
No wasted years, though, right? We say, right? No wasted experiences.
It's all beautiful experiences that come and make us the whole people we are today and add.
I really like that saying, like, no wasted experiences, because I think at times when you're going through something hard, you'd be like, oh, why do I have to go through this? Like, what? Like, this is so challenging. Like, it can be a little bit like, when is this going to be over? But understanding, like, it's all part of the process.
100%. That's right.
Right? It's all part of the process in helping you become, you know, the person you are today.
That's right.
Right? And oftentimes the hardest things people go through often becomes one of their best things.
That's right. It really, like being a diamond in the rough, right? It really forms us into the people we become.
Yeah, when we allow it to and we do the work.
Yeah. And we can't know love without some hurt or some grief or... You know,
you need both sides of the spectrum.
That's it. 100%.
Love and heartache.
I agree.
All part of it.
I agree.
That's all part of it.
Beautiful.
So let's talk a little bit around, I really wanted to talk a little bit about the queer community in regards to weddings in general.
Sure.
Because even for us, you know, we thought we were like a very progressive company. We married everybody, you know, but we had bride and groom on our forms for years. And it wasn't even, it's interesting because like, as a cis white, you know, male, fundamental, it wasn't even something that was on my radar, right? It was not like I was doing it intentionally, but it wasn't like, it just wasn't there. I didn't even think about it, right? And I often, you know, when we work with queer couples, it can often feel like they are, especially with weddings, right? Like, who's walking down the aisle, and like there's all these heteronormative traditions that work for bride and groom.
That's right.
And oftentimes queer couples feel like they have to insert themselves into these roles. So I would love to talk a little bit about when you work with a queer couple.
Yes.
How do you help them process and understand what they want their ceremony to look like? Can you talk a little bit about that?
I would love to. Great question. I love to tell our couples, first of all, there's no one right way to do this. It really should be what you want.
Right.
It's your day.
Yeah.
If you want to do a piece of the ceremony that we're used to doing, we will do that. If you don't want to do it, I will toss it out.
Right.
And if you want to replace it with something else, we will find a way to do that.
Yeah.
But it's really about honoring the couple that's before you.
Right.
And I really love doing queer weddings, especially because I love championing people in the rainbow community and celebrating that love that has been fought for and hard won over the years.
Really
from being on the sidelines to now having a place in society that's a little more recognized. And from not being able to get married many years ago to now being able to fully marry, and many companies having benefits that are inclusive and policies that are inclusive for human resources. It's really about finding out what brings and molds that couple and brings them together and unites them, and honoring some of the traditions, but also finding ways to honor them, most importantly, on their day, which is why you founded the company in the first place. Because you and Erica are so vibrant and full of life. And I remember you saying you had just a normal wedding and it was the same wedding as all your friends and family. And it just didn't suit you when you're so vibrant and cool. And you and Erica are just so, that's not your vibe.
We've been married 20 years. We have still never watched our wedding video.
Wow.
Because the thought of watching it, I'm just like, I don't think I can watch this. Like it was planned, by our in-laws and family, which they paid for it. And we were young at the time. We didn't have any money, we were like, oh, I guess this is what you do. Right. But now being, if we were to do it now, it would look very different.
There you go. See, we were talking about no wasted experiences. And that was part of the catalyst and the seed that grew into this amazing Young Hip and Married brand project and
our
this network.
Did a sermon which we did not know was coming, during our ceremony about Priscilla and Aquila. From the Book of Acts.
Okay. And you didn't know it was coming?
No, I just tuned out. I was like, Eric and I were kind of making eyes at each other. So like, we have to, maybe have a glass of wine and watch our wedding video one night. If we could bring ourselves to it, we should actually probably post it online. It'd be hilarious. It would be so funny to do. But it's a lot of fun, this line of work.
It is a lot of fun. Yeah. Thank you for being such an inclusive company.
It's a learned process.
It's such a gift.
It's a learned process.
It's such a gift to be able to show up for all variety of couples of gender identity and sexual orientation, and to be able to hold all that and recognize that love is love. And the world could use a lot more love. So
more love.
It is just so awesome to come in and be part of that moment, that celebration, that honoring, and making an impact, and then making an impact on you. It's just so beautiful.
It's so powerful. I don't know if you've had this experience, but since COVID, what I've realized is like there's something has changed in weddings where people are appreciating the fact that we're able to gather and celebrate more. And I said this earlier, but like no matter who we are, no matter where we come from, no matter what we believe, everyone can agree love is worth celebrating. And what you see, there's no shortage of discord currently in our global environment. But at a wedding, that gets all kind of left at the door. Like all these differences that we may believe differently, whether it be politically, spiritually, religiously, culturally, somehow at a wedding, we all just kind of let that sit and be like, oh, this thing, no matter who we are, is worth celebrating. And I've really felt that shift. Have you noticed a difference?
I have. It's been so exciting post-COVID, where people appreciate being together more Yeah, and the connections and the value of just face-to-face contact.
Yeah, it's
And
super important.
in such a beautiful environment where people are drawn together from different facets of a couple's life,
Right.
family, friends, co-workers, people from across the globe who never would cross paths otherwise, who have this couple and their love for them in common.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. As a United minister, do you ever do interfaith weddings? Have you ever done any interfaith weddings?
Have I?
Do you find couples want to include things from multiple different faiths at a ceremony?
Yes. And all faith and no faith.
Right.
Everything. Like, I'm totally open to the spectrum, which is lovely.
Right.
One thing I'm really clear on is that my beliefs don't have to be their beliefs.
Right.
And I'm not going to put my beliefs on them in the script. I really do want the wedding to reflect them and to just show up authentically as myself.
Inclusivity goes both ways.
Yes, thank you.
Right? Oh. Which I I think sometimes gets missed.
There you go.
Right? Where people they want their beliefs respected, but they're not necessarily respectful of the other couples.
Yes. I interviewed a couple recently online that I was going to marry with Young, Hip, and Married, and it was a Caucasian groom and an Indigenous bride.
Yeah.
And when she said she had this Indigenous heritage, I said, could we please work in some Indigenous traditions and ceremony to your wedding?
Yeah.
Because I really want to honor this heritage and this deep ancestry and traditions that you have, and I want to be part of that, but I don't need to do it. I want the Indigenous people are in your network, in your family, to come and be part of that. So they had a cedar brushing ceremony, which was lovely.
Yeah.
4 women gathered around and surrounded the couple in a beautiful way, and they brushed cedars to the north, the south, the east, and the west. And no words were spoken, but the movement and the intentionality with which it was done was so gorgeous.
Right.
It said it all. There were cedars on the ground around them, and they just brushed them, and it was really lovely.
Do you think they would have gone in that direction had you not suggested it?
I don't think so. I think they had this Western formula in mind that there's a way to do a wedding. And they were so glad when I said, doing a territory acknowledgement is really important to me. And I'm so glad that many of our couples don't push back against that, but actually are like, oh, yes, please take a moment in the ceremony and do that. I'm so glad. And when I said that to them, that's when the story came out about her Indigenous background. And then they requested a hand fasting.
Beautiful.
And when I was in the parking lot after the wedding, that's the piece that a lot of people came up to me and said, we've never seen that. It is a beautiful tradition. We are going to remember this. This was so powerful. Yeah, tying the knot and actually having an officiant beautifully hold that space and capture that moment and express that it's across multiple traditions.
I find, that question about this couple, would they have done this had they not met with you?
Yeah.
I often feel like, we're calling our podcast Friendors, which is a play on friends and wedding vendors. And we've often used that word Friendors as a bit of a tongue-in-cheek, not derogatory kind of, but say your Uncle Bob wants to officiate for you. So that would be a friend, or your friend Gail has a camera and she's going to be your photographer. So in the industry, we call those people Friendors, right? They're your friend, they're your wedding vendors.
Yeah.
And the temptation is often, budgets and friendships, everyone's got their own stuff. And often what I find is a lot of people want to have a family member or friend officiate for them.
Yes.
It's very popular.
Yeah.
But had this couple gone with a friend or a family member or pulled a script offline, they would have missed out on so much. They would have missed out on so much because working with a professional like yourself, you're listening, in coaching, we call it a level 3 listening. There's words we're speaking, but you're listening to a deeper story in that element, trying to figure out, okay, what's the essence of what's going on here, right? And had you not suggested the land acknowledgement, you may have not have heard about the Indigenous heritage, which may not have led to this beautiful representation that they had, right? And so for the couple that is considering, having a family member or friend officiate for them, or maybe doesn't want to use a professional officiant, what would you say to that couple?
Yeah. Actually, a lot of the couples that I've worked with who have a co-leadership where someone in the family is going to lead something in the ceremony, I think it's beautiful because they are a special part of their story. And so I like it. I actually like to give them tips and to coach them.
Yes.
Here is how I do it as a professional. Here are the elements of a service. You can move around, you can play with their fluid, but here are some of the key things that you might want to do and create and feel in that space.
And what type of feedback do you get on that?
They're so grateful for our wisdom and the guidance to make sure their wedding is well looked after. And that even if I'm not the one officiating it, and I'm just there to hold the space and be part of the wedding and sign the paper at the end. That they're just so appreciative of the gift.
It's
getting the expertise.
Absolutely.
And the input, because it's not necessarily what they would have had at the end product, as you were saying, right?
No, and I think one of the challenges we face as officiants is that it is a fairly low barrier to entry to have a family member or friend step in. And I enjoy a sediment. We even have a package where we let people bring a family member or friend in and we'll coach them or write them a script, try to give them the best of both worlds. But it is a unique element in that it's sometimes hard to quantify to couples exactly what we do because it can be captured in necessarily a video or a photo of us doing a wedding because we curate a feeling.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Like we're holding space for someone, but energetically when you experience it, you're like, oh.
Yes, exactly.
That is different.
It's so true. It's so true. When you're in the room and you're making eye contact and you're bringing your heart to the wedding and you're connecting with the guests and the family and the couple already had a connection with you from your pre-wedding meeting. And they're excited to see you. And you're excited to see them. It's so special.
It really
That's
is.
something you can't just pull off a shelf and drop into a wedding.
No.
And just grab a planner and drop them in. No, it's really special.
And also, like, often what I'll see is when a family member or friend is officiating, there's a lot, they're quite nervous. And Jeff talked a little bit about this, like learning his camera. Like when he first started, he was so focused on his camera, like he couldn't really do anything else because he was like making sure the settings were right, because it's all these things you have to do as a beginner that you're paying attention to. Right? If you've never officiated a wedding before and it's your first wedding,
it's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure, and you're focusing a lot on all the moving elements. But, you know, someone like yourself or myself who have multiple weddings under our belt, it's like we got the technical side handled, right? But then we're able to rise above that energetically. And, you know, I always envision myself when I do a wedding, it's like I want to reach around the couple all the way to the back of the room. I picture my arms going out. I'm like trying to grab everybody, and I'm like, okay, come in here. Right? I want to try to bring everybody in and curate this space that can facilitate the celebration of what the couple has created.
Totally. Right? The other thing is, because we're experienced and we bring the heart and the spirit to it, I'll often not look at my script much at all, because I know pretty much what's there. I know the couple's story. I know the elements we need to hit. I may look down at the script from time to time, but I'm certainly not reading off of it. And sometimes I'm offering words and reflections that aren't in the script.
Because you're using what's in the moment.
In the moment, that speak to the couple and the people who are gathered.
It's a real, but that comes with getting your reps.
It's true.
Comes with getting your experience,
That's
you know?
True.
It's a lot of fun.
It is.
It's a lot of fun.
Sure is.
Any memorable weddings that really stand out in your mind where you've done something, you know, extraordinary or something really unique or special? Anything come to mind?
Give me a moment. I tend to be so in the moment, honestly, with each couple.
Right.
And I remember them a little while after, and then there's so many other couples after. And unless I go back and look at the photos and remember the story of that couple and how we got there. So maybe we'll come back to that one.
We can come back to it, absolutely. What about it? Have you made any really great blunders?
Great blunders. I am always terrified that I am going to forget a wedding.
Right.
Because our schedules are so full.
Yeah.
Or that I'm going to call a couple by the wrong name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
I did have one last year where the couple had very similar names, and they were a same gender couple.
Yeah.
And at one point, I was unfortunately the name lost me. And I was trying to be as neutral as possible.
Right, don't get the pronouns wrong.
No, that the person clocked it in the moment and just kind of looking at me, but I just rolled with it and brought my personality.
It's all you can do.
Tried to roll with the flow.
It's all you can do.
Yeah.
I had a wedding once, and I got to the front.
And I'm so sorry if they ever watch this.
And I got to the front to start my wedding, and I opened up my iPad, and it's got 5%. My daughter, I guess, had been watching YouTube on my iPad. Because as I let them do on the weekends, right? But I didn't get plugged in. I didn't check it. I pull open the script. I'm like 5%. So similarly to you, I know most of my scripts pretty good, and I practice a lot before the day. And so I get up there, go to do the wedding, and like 5%, and like the bride's like pretty much coming down the aisle. I'm like, oh no. So I take a quick look at the script, turn the iPad, lock the screen, get into it. Open it up, take a quick glance, lock the screen, and by the end of the wedding, I had like 1% left.
Wow!
Yeah, and I got through the whole thing.
What a miracle!
Yeah, and I said to the planner after, she's like, "Oh, that was great." I'm like, "Did I look?" And she's like, "Oh, you look fine." And I was like, "Not an inch side." I was like, sweating.
My goodness! I had another one where I had weddings on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and accidentally on Saturday I went to the Sunday location.
Oh no.
And it was really close to wedding time, and they were in very different parts of the Lower Mainland. And luckily the photographer was with Young, Hip and Married, and they had my back. And by the time I figured out what had happened, they were like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm here." And then I figured it out that I was at my Sunday's venue and not my Saturday venue, and it was still Saturday. So we raced across town. My partner drove me, and we raced across town, and luckily we were only a few minutes late.
Perfect.
And the photographer was nice enough to say, "Listen, she's stuck in traffic. She'll be here as soon as she can. She's not normally like this. We're so sorry. Let me take some photos and take great care of you. And once she arrives, you're not even going to remember."
It happens. The amount of weddings that I've done that have been late, countless. And never because of the officiant.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, we're always there ready to go.
Oh my goodness.
I got a couple I'm doing this year, and they're Alexandra and Alexander.
Oh, wow.
And they go by Alex and Alex.
Okay.
And so for the whole script, we're reading Alex and Alex.
Oh, wow.
One is Alex, one is Alix.
Got you.
And we're telling them they're doing the whole script. We're marrying the Alexes.
Excellent.
Right?
That's fun.
Yeah, it's super fun.
You can play with that.
Absolutely, right?
You know you won't get it wrong, because whatever name you call out, it's going to be the right one.
It's going to be the right one. Just going to make sure I get the pronouns right, when I'm talking about,
That's it.
who they are.
That's it. Can I just pronouns?
Yeah.
Can I just say
please. Yeah.
I've had a few weddings recently with couples where one of them identifies as they, them.
Yeah.
So one of the things I'm very conscious of in the script is to ensure that I hit they, them in the explanations throughout the script.
Right.
That I am honoring the pronouns of the person who is neither traditionally male nor female, but somewhere all that and in between.
Yeah, that can be tricky, especially when delivering a script or delivering a script you deliver, a ring exchange that maybe you've done, a dozen times, and changing the program. Do you take them to be your husband or wife or partner? I always give my couples that option too. It's like not every person identifies as a wife or a husband or a bride or a groom, and making sure couples get those questions and what is their preferred language that they want to use during the ceremony. But even what I've found too is just even giving people the options. What doesn't matter what they choose. It feels very respectful, right? Of just where they're at.
And some in the community who are surrounding them might not even hear the them, and might just go, "Oh yeah, that feels right." But the couple will know that you got it and you honored their personhood. And their identity. It's so beautiful. It's also important to ask at the end of the ceremony, how do you want to be introduced?
Yes, of course.
Are you spouses for life, husband, wife and wife, partners for life?
Yeah. Officially married.
Multiple options. Yeah.
Same thing with the kiss too. I always ask, do you want to kiss the bride?
Yeah.
Do you want to kiss the groom?
Yeah.
Do you want to kiss each other? Do you want to seal your marriage with a kiss? Those are some of the more traditional things that people just assume.
Right, exactly.
But giving people options, I love it. Even my my heterosexual couples, often they'll be like, no, we want to seal our marriage with a kiss, right? They're just not interested in those traditional elements of the groom kiss and marriage. And some are, and whatever they want is great. But I always try and give them the options.
That's the beauty of a young, hip, and married wedding.
Right? Yeah, lots
we
of
get
choice.
to create it the way they want.
Yeah, and that is the goal, right? The last thing you should be having, anybody getting married, is a ceremony that doesn't feel like you. Right? It should be a reflection of who you are as individuals and who you are as a couple. So there's a queer couple out there that's watching this, they're navigating a space, they want to get married, they're looking for an officiant.
Yes.
What type of questions, or what should they be looking for in the space when they're looking for someone to marry them?
Yes, call me.
Right. First and foremost, call Lauren.
Please call Young, Hip, and Married and ask for Lauren. What should they be looking for? They should be looking for somebody who's going to affirm their identity and their relationship. No strings attached. No, I'm showing up, but I just really want to do the job and get out.
Right.
But is really going to invest in who they are, and is really going to listen and honor their identity, their orientation, everything that encompasses how these two beautiful humans came together, whoever they may be.
Right.
Yeah. And just to let them know they are safe, and we're going to honor that and champion that, and that they've actually been through a harder road, because the heteronormative wedding is just kind of so ingrained in us from childhood and in traditions.
TV, pulp culture,
we just expect it.
It's everywhere.
And there's pressure on young men and young women. When are you getting married? When are you getting married? When are you getting married? But for a queer couple, they just assume maybe you'll never get married.
Right.
And won't you be lucky if you find somebody for a long-term relationship even?
Right.
And so sometimes these relationships are hard fought and won, and they've been through stuff. And somehow it just feels more to me. Because they've been through more life, it just feels like an even more solid foundation, because they've had to weather challenges of family and friends and the world pushing back against their love.
Yeah.
So it just makes them even stronger to
it's beautiful.
over that.
I've done a few weddings where we'll do a marriage equality statement at the beginning, which is beautiful. But we'll say, today, say Alex and Alex, or they're getting married today. But before we begin, we just want to acknowledge that not everyone in the world has the right to make a lifelong commitment to the ones they love. And we stand with them in solidarity, and we celebrate that Alex and Alex today have an opportunity to make this type of commitment. We're very grateful to have you here as we celebrate, right? But, often, and not often, but many times over the years, we've had people come from other countries to get married here.
Yeah.
So whether that be, I won't name any, but they come here because they're not able to get married in the current country that they're living in. And they want to make a lifelong legal commitment to each other, and they're not able to do that. And sometimes, you forget that. You forget that not everybody has that origin. And as you mentioned, they're hard fought for, right? They truly are. Yeah. It's great. No, it's a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. So you got into weddings. Your first one you said was 2014-ish?
Actually, 2010-ish.
2010-ish.
Yeah, with a small church that I was in leadership.
And were you hooked right away?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you loved it.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I love spreading love and connecting with people and just trying to make a difference and an impact in the world. And that's a beautiful place to show up.
Truly.
And get to be part of people's story for a really whole moment, and to honor who they are and their story, and to come alongside it is such a privilege.
Right.
I take all of our couples so seriously. I just feel so invested in all of their love stories. It's such a joy.
It's just, we talked about it a little bit this off camera, but like officiating, the officiants I know, as much as we do it as a job and are professionals about it, it also has this delicate balance of like, feels a lot like a calling.
It is a calling.
Right? And I think traditionally weddings were performed by religious leaders.
Yeah.
Right? And many of our officiants like yourself are...
and I am that.
You're a religious leader.
Yeah.
But often people think of religious weddings as a do this, not that.
That's right.
Right? Where you have to fit into someone else's definition of what a relationship is, what a marriage is, and this sort of thing. But when we do a wedding, the core philosophy being like, we will celebrate you however you want to be celebrated. Right? Is super key.
How radical.
Right?
Right. How novel.
I know. It's
what
a
crazy idea.
It's traditions are funny that way though, right? Like
It's true.
people
It's
hang
true.
on to them.
I understand.
Yeah. It's very it's an interesting line of work because the wedding industry, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, right? But we have such a special role.
Yes.
What do you think it is? I have my own answer to this question, but I'll ask you first. We've had the privilege of marrying, hundreds of couples. And when a couple stands up in front of a group of people that they know and love and that love them and are supporting them, and they say their vows and they make their commitments to each other, they finally say, I do, they seal them with a kiss. I don't know about you, but something shifts in that moment. And I can't tell you what it is. It's a little piece of magic. But I always say to my couples, you're going to feel different. They're like, we've been together 13 years. I'm like, you are going to feel different. And every time, without a doubt, people feel different after they've done this. What do you think that is?
Ooh, I think it's that their love is validated. And it's the power, I think, of all the people that come together, even if it's an elopement and
Even if it's
small, that they are carrying all those stories and all those people to this moment,
Right.
even if they're not physically in the space. And I think it's really powerful to hear the words of love from your spouse that you may not hear every day.
Publicly acknowledged.
Yes, 100%. And to have a variety of people from different backgrounds who you know and who you love and are invested in your story come to one place that is about you. It's your day. They are here to support you.
Yeah.
It's pretty beautiful. One of the things I love to do with our couples is to ask them what it is about the person next to them that makes them the one they fell in love with. And they just want to champion and encourage for the rest of their life. And they feel so lucky they get to marry this person.
Right.
And I tell them to email me privately your list so that I could surprise you and all of your friends back on the day. So if they don't know your steps as much, they're going to hear all these amazing things that made them the one for you. And how affirming to hear these words. We don't have to get to say them. We may express love. We may say things in different ways over the course of the years, but to have an actual list and to hear it and to hold that in your script forever to come back to in tough times or anniversary dates is just so precious.
And very powerful.
Yeah, it's very powerful. Yeah.
It's unique.
Thank you.
Right? It's so unique.
It's one of my little sprinkles of magic in the ceremonies that I do. I love to bless the couple with words of affirmation that they might not have heard from their spouse and they don't know are coming.
I've noticed, I always pay attention to this. So when I marry a couple who's been together a long time, 10 plus years, say, sometimes we'll marry a couple that have been together 13 years or 50 years or 20 years. I'll often find that those weddings are even more emotional than the other weddings. And I have my own theories around this. Partly, I think there's a little bit of, I do a lot of, a little bit of history review in my wedding. So people's friends and family all know these two are in love, and then they're here to get married. But how did they get here? How did this couple meet, fall in love, and create this amazing relationship? So much so that they're willing to commit their lives to it. Let me tell you a little bit about that story. So there's a little bit of that history telling element. And when we tell that story, there's a little bit of we've been through some shit.
Yes.
Right? There's this recognition of how far they've come.
That's it.
But I had this thought recently around that they've never promised each other their futures.
Oh.
And so they've only promised each other their todays.
Oh, wow.
And that at the wedding, what they're saying is I give you my future. And I think for a couple that's been together a long time, there is an element missing, perhaps, in their relationship where they haven't promised each other their tomorrows. And so in that moment, as they're giving, promising one another their tomorrows, it holds like this real emotional weight.
It's amazing.
And you notice it now when you work with a couple, when you find out how long they've been together, pay attention to it. And
is that the shift in the atmosphere that you're talking about?
Thinking that's what it is. Is that when it's over, they're like, oh, because your common law, all the legal rights of marriage are given to you as a common law partner, all of that sort of stuff. But you haven't publicly committed your tomorrows, right? And there's an element of that I think is really powerful. And so I think what it does is they're not thinking they're going to feel any different. No, we've been together 20 years. Like, we're just signing a piece of paper. Like, we're just having a party. Not a big deal. And then all of a sudden they're like, why do I feel so different? I'm like, what's going on here?
That's
right?
Really beautifully.
Yeah, you think I'm onto something with that?
I do. I really like that.
Yeah.
I really like that. Maybe we presume that we're just going to be together forever.
Right.
Or maybe we hold this vision and this dream that we're going to grow old together.
Right.
But to actually say it and to
make
mark
it
and to lock it down and make that commitment in front of people and to make it legal that's another step, as you're saying.
Yeah, and there's just
100%.
some magic that happens in that moment.
Totally.
Totally. That we get to be front and center to.
It's so beautiful. It is such a calling.
Yeah.
It is such a joy to.
Are you seeing any trends with your couples that have shifted since when you started? You know, anything from the way the ceremony's structured to how the processional's going. Are you seeing any trends emerging within the couples you married, or are they all just like very different?
They're all very different. What I would say is what's emerged is me.
Right.
I've evolved as the years have gone on and gotten more fully myself, showing up to these weddings with personality and joy and love and vulnerability.
Right.
And an investment that I'm not just a scripted person showing up, but that they know I'm in this too.
Right.
I'm also part of this story, even if just for a moment.
So how have you meandered that?
Yeah.
Right, through your years of officiating in ministry, you know, how have you found your way to this place today?
Yeah. And as you say, I think it's just putting in the time and doing the reps, you know, and getting more confident in who you are as a person and the gifts that you bring to the world, and being willing to offer them and play with them and stretch and grow them, and continually challenging yourself to be better than you even were last year.
I really love that. Like Jeff talked a little bit about that too, like always trying to improve
100%.
and become better. And every year that I think that I've like, okay, you know, I've done X number of weddings. It's like, this is just what I do. But for me, it's like finding ways to improve. Like finding ways to give more or to hold space more or to change things. And I think the temptation can be, after you've done it for a long time, this is just like, okay, another couple, right? But that deep level of listening and really bringing yourself to the script and like, what can I give here to them is a key element.
Yes. Also being present in the moment at the wedding and not relying on the script.
Right.
But if a dog starts barking or a kid starts running down the aisle screaming, or things happen at every wedding that we just roll with. Yeah. And it becomes part of their story and it becomes really fun. Yeah. And there's such joy and such ease in having the talent and the space and the freedom to roll with it and just handle it lightly and lovingly in the space and let everybody know it's okay.
Right. It's amazing.
It's okay.
So
we're going to name it and we are going to love it and we are going to have fun with it. And it's a memory as part of this wedding.
Yeah, I always
no
say
wedding is perfect.
No,
really.
And I love.
There's always some moment that.
I think that's such beautiful advice. You know, I'll say to a lot of my couples, like, having a wedding is an adventure, and nothing goes wrong in an adventure. Right? Because that's what it is, right? It's not all going to go as planned. There's going to be hiccups in a row. Things might not always go. And I see my couples that get really attached to having things run a certain way, cause a lot more stress, anxiety, you know, worry, versus the couples that are like, okay, like we're going to roll with it. Like I always tell them, like, the roller coaster now is firmly, you're locked in. It's about to go down. It's going to go. There's no stopping it now.
Yeah.
Like, here we go. Yeah. Buckle up. Enjoy the ride. Put your hands up and enjoy the experience.
Exactly. And I love seeing the release of air and the change in the body posture. When you're able to break that confidence and that assurance.
Yeah.
I've got you. Yeah. This is fine. We're going to be okay. It's no big deal. This is your day. We're going to laugh it off.
Yeah.
We're going to have a moment, and we are going to zero back in, and you're in good hands. I've got you through this.
Yeah, and I think that piece, too, is not something that is, for us, it's easily captured or communicated with our couples, right? It's like, because by the time the wedding rolls around, often we've communicated many times on phones and Zoom calls and face-to-face meetings, and we've developed this relationship with this couple, and there's no surprises, meaning like, you know, the script's not hidden from them. They know what's going to be said. They know that they're going to be honored and respected, and nothing's going to be shared that they don't want to be shared. And so when they get up there to get married, you know, I was like, okay, guys, ready? Like, I kind of whispering, like, okay, we got this, joint hands. Oh my gosh, okay, good. Okay, here we go. Right? It's like, they'd be like, yeah, you know what? Lauren's got this.
Exactly.
She's got this, right? And building that trust and rapport allows them to be present.
That's right. And to know we have their back.
Yes.
From the very first meeting, right through the days going up to their wedding, we have their back. Even at their wedding, we have your back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a beautiful honor.
It's a beautiful thing. It's such a privilege and a joy that we get to do this work. It's just,
truly
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Many days I've been doing this so long. I still can't believe it. Every wedding I show up and I go, I can't believe I get to do this.
I was thinking about just the amount of dopamine that I get from this work.
Oh my gosh.
I read that book, was it Dopamine? Was it called Dopamine Detox? I read a book about dopamine, but I was like, oh, I get a lot of dopamine from my job.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I leave a wedding just feeling great. Not only did I get to see this beautiful love story and hear all these great vows and like have all these people cheering and smiling, but often, you know, as you would know, the ceremony's over, you know, put my license away and like person after person is coming up. Thank you so much. I thought you were the DJ. I get that one all the time, right?
Because you dress so hip.
Right? Yeah. No one ever. I waddle into a wedding. People are like, "Are you the photographer?" Yeah. And I'm like, "No, DJ." And like, "No, musician." "No, I'm the officiant." "You're the minister." "Well, I'm the officiant." You know, similar, but you know, like people are always shocked.
Also, the way we mingle with a crowd, probably.
Yes.
You know, to show up and greet the family and friends and introduce ourselves and create the vibe before the wedding even starts.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure we're not used to that from a minister either. Most of the time.
No, not at all.
They're probably used to, they come in from the sides, they show up in the center, they do their job. But
yeah, you know, what I love about the weddings that you do, there's so much more storytelling and such less advice giving, right? Because a couple that's getting married, it's like they don't need to be told how to have a great relationship.
Yeah.
And that feels very, you know, disingenuous to me, right? If I'm going to stand up here, I'm going to tell you what it means to have a great marriage. It's like, listen, like what's great for my marriage, not going to be great for your marriage. That's like right. I don't got the handle. No, that's right. I'm figuring mine out as it goes. Like there's no formula.
That's right.
Right. And letting go of that formula and allowing a couple to define what it is. You know, with my couples too, I always like we'll do the intended marriage piece, but I'm like, we're going to talk about what marriage is. To who?
Yes.
To me? No, to you, not to the government or to XYZ religion, unless you want to align with that. But like, what is a good marriage to you? And help them define and think through that. And then when you ask them, okay, and then you'll talk about marriages and then other weddings, it's like, okay, so all this in mind, you too, standing out fit, ready to join your lives to each other in marriage. If so, please say we do. And then they're like, yeah, we do. Exactly. Like they're excited about it, right? Because they're not getting a version of marriage that is some idealistic version or cliches about life, love, and marriage. We're actually getting a version of marriage that they wholeheartedly believe in.
That's right. That speaks to their rhythm and their dynamic and how they interact as a couple.
So important.
Not a formula.
Not a formula at all. And I think that's the biggest piece of advice for couples, career straight, anyone getting married. Is like, you don't need to follow a formula.
Yes. Amen.
Right? You need to build something that is going to feel like you.
It's so fun.
It represents you for who you are.
It's so fun.
Yeah, it's a blast. Yeah. I'm trying to think about, you know, for couples that are, let's actually talk a little bit about professional wedding officiating. Now, we're here in BC, rules are a little bit different here, but, you know, someone, you know, listens to this and they're like, I think I could be a great officiant. What would you point them? What type of advice would you give them about getting into this work?
Oh gosh. Where to start? We get that all the time. I get that all the time.
All
Do
the
you
time.
get it all the time?
All
I get
the
it all the
time.
time too.
All the time. And we're challenged in British Columbia because licensing is can be challenging.
That's right.
For individuals. In the U.S., it's a little bit different.
That's right.
Assuming that you can get a license and you can marry people,
Yeah.
Someone's like, I want to get into this. Like, where do you begin?
Yeah. I often will set the stage and say, well, in the States, there are many ways to register and get a license to do this. Right. But in the Canadian system, in BC in particular, we have to be attached to a spiritual body and be governed by them.
Right.
Or be attached to the government and be a civil officiant for a period of years. And there are structures and boundaries.
Right. Very different than what we do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I'll kind of explain those are the two main paths.
Right.
And just that's kind of.
But what type of, like, someone thinks this looks, because you hear a great story like this, the tears are flowing, we're talking about it slow and still me getting to do this great line of work, but it's not for everybody.
No.
Right? Like, and I think that's maybe what I'm speaking to is like, someone thinks they want to get into this. Like, what do they need to know about officiating?
Yeah. I think that it takes a lot of energy and focus. And there's no one way to do it.
Right.
And that it's harder than it looks. Not everybody can get up in front of people and roll with whatever and hold that space with a couple and with 100 family and friends there and navigate the twists and turns of whatever's going to come.
Right.
And honor the couple.
Right. Yeah, it's a lot different than getting a speech.
Oh my goodness. You were asking about what I would tell people.
Yeah, so the people, assuming there's no barriers to entry, right? But they're like, I think I want to do this line of work. Like, who's it for and who's it not for?
Exactly. I would have to say you have to know it's for you and it's the right thing to do.
Right.
And you're not just doing it because you think it's a cool job and it would be easy or fun.
Right.
And that there's a lot more to it than people might think.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work that goes before the day when we first connect with the couple.
Right.
And we draw out their stories, and we have that gift of connecting with people and sharing little pieces of ourselves and grabbing great stories from them to weave into the ceremony. There's a lot more to it than just showing up on the day and standing at the front like an actor or an MC.
Right.
It's holding so much.
Energetically,
mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually for these people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can't have an off day because it's their big day. They've waited years for and have been through some stuff to get to this moment.
Yeah.
So you do have to show up.
Yeah.
If you're tired, you have a headache.
Yeah.
You're not in the mood.
Yeah,
you've had a long day. Something happened right before the wedding. That's it.
And you get to show up, and it is a little bit like we're half performers, but also, I don't know if spiritual leaders are the right word, energy masters, right? Because there's an element of that, right? Because part of what we do is a performance.
Yes.
You have to be well-spoken. You have to project your voice. You have to be able to track a script and know when to be on script and off script. Like, there's a million things that go on. But energetically, we're curating a space.
Yes.
Right?
That's right.
And I think that's the difference between being, a good officiant and a great officiant, right? Is how we're able to help, the way we're able to make people feel, but also how we're able to lead a group of people energetically.
That's right.
Through a ceremony.
That's right. We're accompanying and holding that space.
Yeah.
And we are able to go with the flow of the room and read the room.
Right.
With whatever is happening.
Yeah.
You have to be able to read the room and react to it and
hold what's there.
Show up with grace and love and a bright light for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I would say as much, this job is as much a calling as it is a job.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I agree.
And
I agree.
a long day of weddings, at the end of it, like I'm exhausted.
Yes.
I'm like not necessarily physically, but emotionally, I'm like, whew, okay.
I so get it.
Spent.
I so get it. I don't know if people realize how much energy is spent pouring out for others and holding that space and that concentration.
Yeah.
And as we said earlier, setting aside all of your stuff to really be there in this moment for this couple and to be with people and roll with it. Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's very cool.
You're such a gift, Lauren.
Back at you.
I'm so thrilled.
Thank you.
That you joined the team.
It's such a blessing.
You get nothing but glowing 5-star reviews across the board. People love working with you.
Thank you.
And I'm always excited for people to meet you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you for being here. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much for listening to the Friendors podcast, the podcast by wedding vendors for wedding vendors. I'm your host, Shawn Miller, signing off. If you enjoyed this episode, it would mean the world to us if you would follow, subscribe, and perhaps share it with a fellow wedding vendor who could use some inspiration or simply a good laugh. Want the Friendors podcast to come to your city? Drop us a comment below and let us know. Until next time, keep learning and keep creating amazing weddings that feel better than they look. See you in the next one.